Are we allowed to swear?
Oh, of course. Go
Yeah,
go
I was
fucking nuts.
shit in pant. There we go. That's pretty much what it was like.
Hello, welcome back to Crushing Sounds. My name is Chris. I'm here with another awesome interview for you all today. I'm joined this time by some of the members of the epic Ambrius. Thank you guys so much for joining me. How are you doing today?
Thank you
Yeah,
for having
great
us.
man.
Doing good.
Awesome. Would you like to introduce yourselves and your roles within the band?
You want to go first, Mike?
Yeah, go on. I am. I don't know. I just said go on to myself. I'm Mike, and I play bass for Ambrius.
And I'm Sam. I'm the vocalist.
Awesome. Thanks again for joining me. Welcome to Crushing Sounds. So I figured we might as well start with that extremely generic beginning interview question. How did Ambrius come to be as a band?
So,
Yeah, yeah.
it's me and Sam, and we've got our guitarist Jay and drummer Alex. Those two are not with us today, but we've all played in different bands with one another over time. When it was Sam and Jay and Alex in Tempestora. Um, I'm not quite sure what was the sort of time frame, Sam, for Tempestora when we
Um,
sort of ceased to be.
like I think we released Battle Begins in 2010,
Okay.
maybe later. Yeah, I'm feeling old, man. It
So
was a
we
long
would
time
say
ago.
about maybe like 2009, maybe running up to like 2014 or something.
Yeah,
And then
I think we released 2013. To be fair,
yeah.
maybe before.
And then I joined. I've known the guys in Tempestor. I'd played shows with them in a previous band on a few occasions. And then I joined a band called Oakheart in 2012. We ended up looking for a vocalist, and Sam was like the perfect fit. So we got Sam involved, and then we needed to replace a guitarist, so we got Jay in. So we've always, um, we've always just been playing in bands for as long as I can remember now, together. And even if not together, we've shared the stage in different bands. So when we came round to deciding we wanted to play live with each other again, we played a gig in Cheltenham called um, I think it was just like a Stars in Their Eyes type thing, wasn't it? Where they take
Yeah, punk rock, man. Punk rock stars and rise.
that's it. So they'll take like bands from the local area and they won't play their original music. They'll actually do a half an hour cover set. So on the night we had like a Rage Against the Machine one, there was a Yumi at Six, there was a Deftones one, and then we got together and did a Killswitch Engaged set. So half an hour of Killswitch songs. It was the first time we'd played together on stage for a couple of years, apart from obviously rehearsals and stuff. And yeah, it was brilliant. And the crowd, of course, everyone loves Killswitch.
We had Craig as well, man,
So
on the other
we had,
guitar as well.
yeah, we're a good friend of ours, Craig, on guitar. So that we were a five piece for that as a kill switch. Uh, as a kill switch. What's the word?
Tribute.
That's the one. Yeah, such an easy word. Gone out of my mind.
As soon
Yeah,
as
as
we
it
knew
should
it
be
was,
a five piece.
as soon as we knew
Um,
it's Kill Switch, it had to be Craig. He's the biggest
oh
Kill
yeah,
Switch fan I know. So yeah, he's got to do it. He's got to do it.
with he like really good at his backing vocals with the kill switch pinches as well. They were
Oh
just right
yeah.
there because Jay is still Jay is a fantastic guitarist, but at the moment we're teaching him how to get those pinch harmonics going.
He's getting there. He's getting
He
there.
is. He's loving it. I said to him, once you get it down, you won't stop. That's it. You'll just be doing
He's
them all the time.
he's going to surprise us one gig. He's just going to unleash the fury.
Oh, oh yes. We'll have to tell him off. So yeah, after the Kill Switch gig happened, it was really good. The audience loved it. Of course, everyone's singing back at you, like the lyrics and stuff. And then Sam got hold of me about a week later. Goes, yeah, if we just let's get some originals on the go. So we got the about 4 or 5 tracks together. We got ready to started rehearsing them, and then the pandemic hit, and it's like, well, great. So I mean, less said about that, the better. But what it gave us was time to put the EP together. I don't know if that's part of a different question. I'm going to try not. To, I'll
Yeah.
be here for an hour of
You sure? I do have questions at the EP a little bit later on. But yeah, that's really cool. So the band is sort of made up almost exclusively of members of Oakheart and Tempestora.
yes.
So could we call Ambrius a supergroup?
We could do. I don't want to feed my ego, Adam, if I'm going to be honest.
Fair enough. And the other obvious initial question out the way: where did the name Ambrius come from?
Well, it was Ambrus, which I think meant immortal. But I think there was a dance act with the same name who hadn't released anything, but we didn't like the idea that someone out there had the same name and there might be stuff online with the same name. I think it was Jason actually that suggested putting the I in, and we all really liked it.
Yeah, it works.
I think there was other names that were flying around at the time. Was one was Monarch. That was quite cool. I'm quite surprised we didn't go in yet, but I think it was a similar story where the name was already taken.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
But
yeah. Monarch, I can believe like some metal band must have snatched that up at some point.
I think we tried a few times, like changing the spelling of it or something like that,
Yeah.
but it was just like it's not working.
I don't know. He stuck an extra A in Oakheart, so you know.
Right,
That is true. Yeah.
I'll do my research. So I did actually ahead of this check out Tempestora and Oakheart's music as well. That stuff's all really awesome as well. Really enjoyed all that. Particularly Oakheart, I really enjoyed that one. Obviously, though, those two bands are quite different from one another, and indeed what Ambrius would become. So did having those different metal backgrounds amongst yourselves play into the creative process in what Ambrius would eventually become?
Ambrius, a lot of the Ambrius tracks on the first EP, there were elements of those songs being Tempestora songs. We kind of incorporated riffs that were never used. So it was a few riffs on there that were pre-existing, just never used, and they ended up being worked on, and it ended up on the EP. One thing that never got used before was like the orchestrals and stuff like that. And I had so much time on furlough, I had a lot of time to do them. So I I did that all throughout the summer, like inputting every note in MIDI on with a mouse. It was fun.
Yeah, also, you seem to be getting that a lot these days, where bands either look back at 2020 either as a time where they just completely crumbled, or they've had this time just to come up with new stuff. Basically, I know I hear you guys wrote a lot of your stuff, came up with a lot of Ambrius during that 2020 lockdown. My band kind of did the same. I know Noctool kind of got its start in that period as well. So yeah, were you able to like meet up or chat much in lockdown to create all of this stuff?
There was a lot of video meetings and
Yeah.
continual video chats. Continual video chats. What do you think of this idea? What do you think of this idea? Yeah, it was non-stop.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Like it gave us purpose.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking of you guys' sound, basically, let's do the elevator pitch basically for Ambrius. How would you sum up what Ambrius sounds like for those who haven't checked you guys out yet?
I'd say it's heavy metal with. I don't want to pigeonhole it. I think there's so. I wouldn't think it's you could pigeonhole Ambrus because I think it would fit into a lot of different genres of metal, but it is metal and heavy metal with a few different things thrown in, like orchestral over the top and just a little few things in the production that make it sound a bit bigger.
Like if I was to use some descriptive words without using anything related to, or trying really hard not to relate to like actual words to do with genres, I'd say it was like epic and evil in some sort of ways, but then also heavy and harmonic and others. So you've got like so many different elements and they clash with one another. You know, because we've got, especially with some of the new stuff that we're writing at the moment, and it's still very much Ambrius. We were together in the studio last night, and we just completed just a completely new song off the bat, and it was very much like quite melodic at one point, and then towards the end of a chorus, it just comes crashing in with like the lowest notes at the end of the fretboard, and and it's such a nice dynamic change, and I think that's one thing that we try, even if we're not thinking about it. It's one thing that we try, kind of end up trying to do quite well within the band is just dynamics, whether it's what we're playing when we're live or um, the tracks in the background, the orchestrals, all this sort of stuff.
We try not to have any barriers as well.
Sure.
Like if we want to write something, we're going to write something.
Oh yeah,
We're not going to care. We're going to write for us at the end of the day, and then
exactly.
it is what it is. What comes
We're not
out.
just like stuck in a cage, and every time someone
No,
reaches out for something, it's like, nope, this is what we got. Stay inside your
yeah,
cage.
I don't want
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because there is quite a lot actually going on when you listen to some of your music. There's elements of symphonic in there as well. Metal Archives says you're a power metal band. All
We
right,
have I have seen that a few times. Like
they just hear high vocals and they go, ah,
I think
power
that's what it
metal.
is. It's fine. Like there's elements of most genres that I like anyway, so I'll take it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad thing. I mean, I was about to say as long as they're not coming along saying, "Oh, it's just rubbish and shite." But then again, everyone loves different things, aren't they? And if they don't like it, that's fine. And they're probably going to take to the internet and say, "Oh, well, I don't think these guys are any good." But that's fine. You enjoy
It's fine.
whatever you like over there, away from me.
yeah. So when you formed, was the sound you were going for firmly in your mind when you started, or did it develop into what it eventually became?
It was it was in my mind.
I wouldn't. I had no idea, to be fair. When Sam said that after the gig that we played, we were writing some songs. I didn't really know what to. Actually, to be fair, I thought it was going to be very Tempestora-ish. Um, I didn't think there was going to be much Oakhart involved. I think we've kind of like dragged a little bit of that out, like the progressive side, but I didn't think there was going to be any orchestrals. You know, how wrong was I?
So very wrong.
So very wrong, but it's good. I love it. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. I'm on a sort of symphonic metal kick at the moment. So as soon as I heard the orchestral stuff in your music, I was like, "Fuck yes, love that kind of thing." So was the decision to have orchestral stuff? Did that sort of come later in the songwriting process to include all that, or
I
Um,
believe so because I think when we were throwing demos back and forth of everything that we had, there wasn't really much orchestral, and then it would. I
no.
think you'd sort of said, right, we're going to start layering some stuff up. Let's try and make this really sort of like kick out and make it epic. Um, I don't think we sort of. I can't really speak for Sam because I know Sam's done like pretty much sorted out a lot of the orchestral stuff. I don't know if it was like a way of sort of thinking, right, we're going to give ourselves our identity by adding this to it, or if it was just like, oh, it's just a few extra layers just to make the sound really like hit hard and
I don't think I went out for it to be the identity, but I think it's ended up being a big part of it. But it started with probably putting two lines of cello or two lines of violin or something. I thought that sounds nice. It could sound nice with a couple of other bits underneath it. And then that would sound nice with a couple more bits. Oh, you could do a bit more here. And then it just added and added, man.
that's how
And
it
it ended
starts.
up being huge.
yeah, for
It's like a
sure,
pedal board collection or pedal collection.
right?
It's like, oh,
Yeah,
this one will do. I won't need any more than that. And it's like, oops, I've bought everything that Boss have ever released.
yeah. You've always got that one in the corner that you only use once, but you need it there because one day you're going to need it again. So, were there any like key bands or artists that were inspirations on yourselves when you started this band?
This band or in general.
Well, to any bands that were directly influential in the songwriting for Ambrius.
Scar Symmetry, man. Like the Oakart guys actually introduced me to Scar Symmetry. That was quite a big turning point with me musically. When I heard them, I thought, need to up the game. The singer's unreal. Like he is so good. It's inspiring, man.
I would
Um,
say like, sorry, carry on.
oh yeah, sorry, man. Go on. Go on.
I would say like when we played in Oakhart, we got to play a show with a band called Zeraf. I don't know if you've heard of Zeraf.
Oh yeah,
Um, they're not together anymore, but they were quite a force to be reckoned with. Would you say they were still like an underground band technically? Big
they
following,
shouldn't have
but
been. They
no,
shouldn't have
exactly.
been.
But yeah, they
I think they played
were.
main stage at Bloodstock, didn't they?
Yeah, they did in the end. I'm pretty sure they did the sort of progress through like from metal to the masses to second
Oh,
stage to main stage eventually. But yeah, they absolutely brilliant band, like real like heavy grooves, but then also like orchestrals in the background and
Crazy.
insane vocals. Like if you've never listened to Zeraf, I would definitely recommend going and checking them out. They'll be on Spotify because they're always coming on my playlist every 5 bloody minutes.
Same with the
But
Enigma
yeah,
division, man.
Enigma Division, yeah, made of past members of Zeraf as well. You'll probably see a fair bit about them because they've got PR for their latest album.
yeah.
It's turned into like a promotion for other people now, but it's fine. They deserve
That's
it.
was that Enigma
The
Enigma
Enigma
Division?
Division,
That
yeah.
definitely rings a
Oh
bell.
mate,
I feel like I have
they're
heard
so
that.
good, man.
I feel like I've heard that name, so definitely stick them both on the list for sure. So we've covered your origins. So let's jump forward quite a bit and talk about my favorite festival. People who watch these videos are probably waiting for me to say the B word. So if you're playing the Crushing Sounds drinking game, I'm going to say it. Let's talk about Bloodstock. I swear to God,
Bloodstock.
I swear to God, I don't just contact bands that play Bloodstock. It just seems to happen. I'm starting to think my band is the only one that hasn't played Bloodstock at this point. Not bitter, whatever. But no, I love Bloodstock. So always love talking to bands who've played it. I really wish I'd heard you guys sooner, or I would have gone to check you guys out at
Oh,
2022.
that's all good,
Though I
man.
think you might have clashed with Pupil Slicer, which is one hell of a clash.
Yes, we did. I know. Yes, I know.
But anyway, how did that set go for you guys? Hope
It was
didn't melt. I
It was
hope
good.
I was about to say it doesn't matter whether you're watching us or Pupil Slicer. There would
just
have just
dying.
been
Yeah,
like melting happening. But it was good. We had a few issues due to the heat, and it's one of those where you wouldn't have really we certainly didn't anticipate any. It's just like due to we use like in-ear monitors for the backing track, and within like the first song, the heat mixed with sun cream kind of made the in-ear like Alex's in-ear as the drummer started like to like slip out, and of course he needs to be in time. And we managed to carry on. It was fine. I think there was a little bit of a twitchy bum moment where it's like, oh, what's happening? Like,
Yeah,
but no, it was fine.
recovered
And
well.
like people poured in and had a good time. I don't know if they were just trying to escape the heat, which wasn't going to happen inside the tent.
We'll
But
take it though. We'll take it.
oh yeah, 100%. I
Come on
enjoyed
in. It's nice
myself.
and cool.
The crew were fantastic, as they have. We played in 2014 with Oakhart and recognized a few of the guys there, and yeah, it's just really
Such a good
helpful.
festival, man.
yeah. I go every single year. It's amazing. I love it. I love it so much. Was your set well received? Did you get a lot of great feedback off the back of it?
Yeah, man. Like so many. I mean, you know Bloodstock anyway. It's just full of nice people, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
there's just no trouble, and it's just full of nice people that will actually give a shit about your band and comment after the event. They'll actually support you and give you comments and like your stuff.
Yeah, awesome. So, did you guys stick around for the whole weekend?
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
Awesome.
there was a lot of bands that we missed. I think it was just because of the heat. Like I hardly drank. Obviously,
Yeah.
Bloodstock is like
Ugh,
and when I say I hardly drank, I mean it's in like alcohol. I
yeah,
took
yeah,
like
yeah.
someone told me to take plenty of water, and that's like the best advice anyone gave me
Mhm.
about anything ever, I feel. But yeah, it was just it would have been a lot better if it wasn't just like absolutely sweltering. And there's nothing
Sure.
anyone could have done about that. The weather's going to do what it wants.
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever been that hot
No, it was
in my life.
it was intense. You just could not get away from it. It was mental.
Mm.
I've never been so sober at a festival. It's like if I
Yeah,
have this beer, I might die. So yeah.
We did see a few people that were like proper going like heavy on the beers during the day, and it was like you see them a little later on, they're not looking too good. It's like
Mhm.
that guy needs
fair
some
play to
water
him.
right now. Oh yeah,
On the
Quick,
I
Sundays
couldn't
as
do
well.
it.
Like on a Sunday, still going for it. It's like, mate, how?
so quick, get him to the 2 water points in the arena. Not going there. So any like bands you remember as like particular highlights that you saw?
I mean, Ginger killed it.
Yeah.
Ginger, they're so good, man. They're so good. Um, the Machine Head was a big surprise.
Hmm.
That was good. I definitely enjoyed that. We stayed in there for as long as we could again
Oh,
due
they played the
to
dagger, man. They
related.
played the dagger.
Yeah, that was fantastic as well. Did not expect that. Let's face it,
No.
we were all expecting Machine Head by that point. We weren't expecting them to bang out that one.
Yeah. And they didn't touch Catharsis, which is all I needed. So, you
I
know.
don't actually think I've really listened to that, so
Don't.
okay.
Don't.
Serious.
It's an hour and 15 minutes of your life you'll never get back. So as I understand it, you guys made it to the New Blood not via Metal to the Masses, but you were asked to play. Did Simon Hall get it to you directly to play it?
No, I applied to play the Jaeger stage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I guess he heard it, and there might have been maybe a slot opened up or something happened, and he decided to put us on the new guy, which was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were sort of like hot on the heels trying to promote the EP because it wasn't
Mm.
just out just yet, and yeah, you're just sending it to anyone who would be interested in listening to the EP, and of course, it landed on Simon's desk or in his emails or whatever. And then yeah, he contacted us shortly and was just like, "Oh, I'm really digging this." So it was completely unexpected, but obviously we weren't going to say no. It's a fantastic opportunity. Does feel what's the word? A little like we've done a few Metal to the Masses shows as like guest headliners. We played in Leicester at Duffy's Bar, which was really awesome. And one of the bands come up asking for some advice and just wanted to chat and stuff after. Again, it was really cool. But they sort of said, "Oh, which one did you guys win?" And I was like, well, we didn't really compete. I was just felt really weird, and I was like, we just got asked to play, and I don't think it's not uncommon for that to happen.
Mhm.
Um,
I know what you're
the,
saying.
the competition like itself is fantastic. It's a great opportunity. Even if you don't win, you get to network with other bands, play cities and venues that you might have been a bit of a struggle to get in before. It's a good way to get your foot in the door, regardless. So no one ever really comes away with it away with nothing as long as you don't go wading in there thinking that you're God's gift to music and um yeah it's so
I
I
don't
don't
think
know. I
I've
just
ever
felt
seen
like a
that
little bit.
actually.
What's that?
I don't think I've ever seen like bad blood at any of the heats or
No, I wouldn't say so.
it's just
My band have done it this our second year doing it this year. We're in the semis. So
nice.
obviously
Good luck, man.
not for my band, but if a band were to ask you for advice on for Metal to the Masses, is there anything other than just be yourself and be humble about it, basically?
Be
I would
nice. Be
personally
nice.
say, yeah, of course, like I think that's just a general sort of thing, go in there and be nice. Actually, obviously you've got the treat people how you would like to be treated, but maybe that ties into another thing when it comes to sort of like being on stage. So if you sort of want to think about what's going to make your band stand out, or like sort of think, if I was going to watch a band, what could they do to make me sort of think, wow, these guys are really on it? They're blowing me away with their music and their stage presence is fantastic. I would say sort of go in with that sort of mindset. Try and think of things that would really blow an audience away. Something that you would expect. I know everyone's different and likes different things, but I feel it's a good sort of way to to go in and try and make. I would try and say be dynamic with your performance and try and make your stage presence and your music work together, kind of make them seamless in a way. Um, well, an example I'm going to use is from when we played with Oakheart, and we used to have a track called "A Darkened Mind," and every time the chorus came in, it had like sweep picking, fast double bass, falsettos, and it was sort of like we'd all be headbanging before you got to that bit, but as soon as the chorus comes in, everyone sort of like like not really sort of charges, but leaps towards the front of the stage. There's circle headbanging going on, like sweep picking and screaming and falsettos. And every time like I'd catch a glimpse of someone at the front of the stage, they were just like, "What the absolute hell is going on right now?" I'm pretty sure there was even a few jaws that were open at one point. It's just like, what is going on? And it was such a punch. That part of like the performance, it just felt like such a punch. And that's kind of what I wanted. I said to the guys when we were competing, it's like, the music speaks for itself, but what can we do? We don't want to just be up there, playing all these crazy riffs and stuff, but just stood on the spot. That's not going to be fun to watch. It might be nice to hear. You want to try and work on the whole package.
You got to believe in what you're putting out as well. I think if you're feeling it, the crowd tends to feel it a bit more as well.
Yeah, yeah,
You got to believe in it.
Yeah, awesome stuff. I mean, I know a certain Bristol metal band is going to really appreciate that advice. So thank you very much for that.
Glad to have helped. I hope there's some information amongst that waffle that I just delivered there.
That's all good. It's all good. Oh, excuse me. So as well as that, though, shortly after you guys did Bloodstock, you did a bunch of shows around the country with none other than Embodiment.
Oh yeah.
That looked like an awesome tour. How did that go?
Oh, that's wicked, man. They're such nice guys.
Yeah,
I mean, we
not only are they nice, but they've just honed their craft as well. Another band that we got to play with through Metal to the Masses when we were with Oakheart back in the day, and to watch them go from strength to strength and keep hitting Metal to the Masses every year until eventually it got to the point where it's like they run with it.
So I think they played the final, didn't they? They played the same final as Oakheart.
They did, yeah,
Right?
back in 2014.
And I think Harry was just a joining.
Yeah, so that would have been the last gig that they played with their previous vocalist.
That's what I know.
And I remember speaking to Harry outside. He was like, "Oh, I'm the new vocalist." I was like, "Oh, sweet. Okay, this, I guess he just came along to sort of see what the deal was." And
what a different band, man.
Oh yes, 100%. So yeah,
mind blowing.
So the gigs with Embodiment were really good. We bought a band called Chaplin as well with us for those gigs. Those guys are really, really nice, really, really good at what they do. They're playing quite a few gigs around the country as well for the rest of the year. Yeah, it's a great set of gigs. It's nice to get out to places we've never played before. We played Coventry, we played Derby. There were supposed to be a few other places, but COVID and things like that got in the way. Unfortunately, still at this point, but it is what it is.
Yeah, awesome. Then, of course, brings us up till fairly recently, where I caught you guys at the Griffin on March 11th, supporting Stranger Vision. I don't know if I told you this at the time, but that was my birthday that day. So thank you for the awesome show. It was great. Was that your first show in Bristol? Have I got that right?
Yeah.
For Ambrius, it was.
What the hell took so long?
Yeah, we always said like we need to play in Bristol, because we love Bristol, man. Like, just the best place to play. You just get so many people that just want to. It's so into the scene. Like, it's the place to play. Bristol's awesome, man. Like, I've always liked Bristol.
Yeah,
there's like quite a few different like great venues, from like the Griffin to the Exchange. I don't know about the Louisiana. I've not really heard much about Louisiana after the pandemic, but I'm sure it's still there. Sure, it's still kicking. There's just always something kicking off in Bristol, and I think maybe we wanted to play, and we knew we were going to, because it is technically just down the road. But I think it was just waiting for the right time, and I think it definitely worked out. And Stranger Vision were a fantastic band to play with. Not only did we share similarities, but we had a great time. They were really nice guys. They actually helped us out with like a slight tech issue that we had. No hesitation, no in and I, and it was like, yeah, sure, you can borrow this piece of kit. Yeah, it's great, and it's nights like that remind me of why Bristol is always a good night to a good place to play a show. And those guys weren't even from Bristol, but they still brought like the friendliness that you can usually expect from playing a show
down this country.
Exactly. I know.
Yeah,
they were killing on.
Yeah, it's really cool. I really enjoyed it. It was great. Right, so we've gone on long enough without diving into your debut release. Let's talk about Effigies of Time. It's really, really good, guys. So epic, so huge, so heavy. I loved it. It was great. So we talked a bit about the writing process that went into creating the album. But yeah, I just love all the symphonic, epic, heavy metal stuff that goes into it, and it's really well produced as well. Who handled the production on it?
I did that.
Well, it sounds fucking massive.
Oh, thanks, man. It's like the first. It's my first one actually that I've done. I look back on it and I learned a lot from it. Like there's a lot of things that I do differently now and will be doing. But yeah, it's fine, man. Like there's got to be a point where you go, that's it. You need to put it out. I mean, you can fiddle this stuff forever, and you adjust one thing, you've got to change everything else. But there's got to be a point where you go, that's enough now. You put it out.
Sure.
But yeah.
Yeah. What do you use to create the symphonic side of it? Because I'm quite a newbie to production. So how do is it like a software
Oh,
you used?
there's actually a lot of free software that you can use, man. I have upgraded now, but it got us through a lot of it. I think it's called the Free Orchestra,
Right.
and it's got everything on there, and just spend a lot of time in MIDI
Yeah.
punching holes. And I mean, I've got a keyboard now, a MIDI keyboard, and that is going to quicken things up no end. But yeah, Free Orchestra, man, check that out. And then the one I use now is called Nucleus, and there's a definite step up. But if you just want to get started and see if it's for you, then 100% use Free Orchestra. And Labs do a lot of stuff as well. Spitfire, they're really good, man.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good. So how's the reaction to the EP been since you released it? What's the reception been?
Really good, man. Like it's been, it kind of shocked us a bit. I mean, there was a lot of things that we weren't, well, I especially wasn't too sure about putting out. So I've never really sung too much, like cleans and like because Tempestora was mostly screams. Oakheart was screams with a few highs, but Ambrius has a lot more clean singing as well. So I was always a bit not well, a little bit nervous about putting out, and then I'm glad I did it now. Yeah, it's cool. It's nice again not having barriers.
Oh yeah, 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 for sure.
I think
Uh,
everyone's kind of loved it so far. We've had like some good criticism.
Mm.
Like a few little bits that people sort of said, "Oh, it'd be good if you could maybe like look at this," or you know, we don't mind like people sort of saying, "Oh, yeah, I wasn't too keen on this sort of stuff," but because you can either kind of decide, "Oh, maybe we can incorporate some of that later on," or it's just one of those things. It's like that's fine, but it's just a personal preference. But no, it's been great. People have loved it. We've made um I don't know, like we've played quite a few gigs where people have just sort of said uh one of the comments was sort of like, if we knew you were that good, you wouldn't have been opening this gig. And I was like, well, that's nice, but everyone deserves to be here in some sort of capacity.
It's just
well,
nice being able to play, man.
Oh yes, yeah. No, it's been great. We've enjoyed the reception of it. We're very much looking forward to seeing what we can do with the new material. We're trying to decide how we're going to go about it. Like, are we going to release an EP again? Are we going to do some tracks here and there and just kind of release them on their own? Because people consume music so differently nowadays.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome stuff. And you've also dropped a video for the song "Breathe," which is really, really cool as well. What made you choose that song to be a video?
It's just very
There was a few
catchy.
conversations about which one it was going to be there.
I'll bet. I'll
Yes,
bet.
it was the hook of the chorus itself. It seems like, I don't really like to use the word accessible, but it seemed like the most accessible song. Um, it felt like it was going to make the biggest impact. It was quite possibly one of the shortest songs as well. And if you're trying to get radio play, you don't want to go in and try and get your money's worth of a 9 minute song. Um, so yeah, it kind of just made sense, to be fair. And we knew that when we were going to release the video, we were going to work with Andy Pilkington as well. and we knew what he was capable of, and if we were to give him a plan and a timeline or a storyboard of what we want, which we did, he just delivered on it. And when we got it back, it was let's just say, without being too rude, it's just very exciting time to watch it and be like, wow, okay. Just yeah, I had to watch it a few times.
I
Bit
think
of a
I got it sent to me, and I said to the guys, I said, just get around here now. It's ridiculous. Just
yeah.
get around here.
I was in the area at the time. I was at McDonald's just down the road, stuffing burgers into my face, and I was like, you know what? I'm in the area. I'm coming up. I want to see what's going on.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I just got your Spotify up. It is indeed the shortest track by 4 seconds. So there you
Ah, good.
Oh, okay.
So
Every second counts.
spot on. And of course,
I think to be fair,
Sorry.
I think it on the EP, I think it might have the intro to song to the Unavoidable Path on the end.
Ah, yes.
And I think
uh,
that's about a minute to be fair. So I think
okay,
it might be actually quite a bit shorter, but it has got an intro to the next
okay,
song
okay, fair enough. This is
on.
why bands put interludes in their albums.
Exactly, yeah.
Nah, I like long songs for the win.
It's funny actually, like that seemed to be like the criticism that we got, the fact that some of the songs are too long.
I mean, have people never heard prog before? I mean, the songs aren't more than 7.5 minutes. That's an
Yeah,
intro. Yeah.
I
we
think
we
like we've one of the problems we've run into as well is just trying to get as much as we can into, when you're first starting to gig, it's going to be a 30-minute set.
Sure.
If if you're lucky, sometimes it's 25. Um, and yeah, it was just sort of like we want to play the full EP. We plan to do that at Bloodstock, but then I said to the guys, look, it's gonna, unless we can like start earlier, which I don't really like to mess with schedules and stuff because everything's
we'd have
like
gone over by like 2 minutes.
yeah. But they put so much like time and effort into making everything run, like clockwork. It was just sort of like we just need to
You don't want to be that band.
Mm-hmm.
no. So we decided to do the 4 songs, and we have done for like a while, unless we feel like we could maybe get away with it, or if we like get everything set up quickly and we can just start earlier. Like we were actually, because there's only 2 bands on the Stranger Vision gig, we were going to play the whole EP, but we had an issue with the drum pedal which set us back, and then we were like, we don't want to cut into Stranger Vision set, so it, again, remained 4 songs. So
Speaking of Stranger Vision set, how did that guy play? How long did they play for? 2 hours, hour and a half?
they played a while, yeah, quite a long while.
It did. I
That
mean,
singer,
yeah.
that singer was as strong on the first song and the last song. He was awesome, man. So good.
Yeah, they were fantastic. It felt a lot shorter for me, but I'd had quite a few quite a few craft beers by then.
Good
It was
man.
it was my birthday.
There's a good selection there as well. It's difficult to say no,
Yeah,
unless you're driving, and in which case, no.
Just so you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of delicious tiny rebel beers. It was good. So, of course, the natural follow-up question to all that is, when can we expect some new music to drop?
We're
We're
working
aiming
out
for
now.
this year. Yeah, we would
Yeah,
like to release.
you'll hear stuff new this year. I think.
We did release some ideas we were working on. We actually put a video up, or a short story the other day online, and got a lot of views, which is good. People seem to be interested in checking out what we're sort of teasing, which is good. So we're probably going to try and maybe, without giving too much away, we're going to do some of that. The plan is to have some new music this year because we want to try and keep the momentum going. Whether it's going to be single tracks on their own or an EP, we can't really say just now. But there is definitely, the gears are in motion, and they're especially after last night, very well oiled. So yeah.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, can't wait to hear what you guys have coming, hopefully very soon. So we're nearing the end, but before that, have you guys got any upcoming shows you want to plug?
We've got Slaughterhouse Festival
Mhm.
in Birmingham. Mike, is it the 20?
I want to say it's the 29th of April at the
29th.
Castle and Falcon in Birmingham. I'm just going to double check that right now.
But there's some killer bands on that lineup. There's Embodiment are playing,
Yep.
Red Method, Divine Chaos, Chaplain are playing. There's
Yeah,
it's
that's a solid lineup.
pretty awesome.
That's really fucking good.
It's the same promoter that puts on the shows with Embodiment as well.
Nice.
He's killer, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
really good.
Was that Control Alt Delete promotions? Because
Mm,
my band played with Embodiment the other day, and that's who got us on that one. So
was that in Western?
yes, it was.
Yeah, I don't think it is Control Absolute. No, Counter Strike, I think it is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
But yeah,
really
yeah,
cool.
but yeah. I can also attest that Embodiment are lovely guys. So
Oh yeah, man, it's so good as well.
yeah,
I haven't actually seen them with Sam yet either. I'm really excited to see Sam in the band as well.
that's
Yeah,
so
they got a
good.
new guitarist previously of Ascaris.
Ascaris, yeah,
Yeah, as
yeah,
soon as we
Mm.
seen them pick it up, or him up even, it was like, oh, shit's getting serious now.
yeah, yeah. Phenomenal choice. Ascaris are a great band as well. So good.
Oh, so good, man.
So yeah, we are working on getting some more gigs for the rest of the year because we are, apart from like the later part of the year, we are currently running a bit light on gigs. Um, we've had a few planned that have then fell through, unfortunately. So yeah, once we get some lined up, we will definitely keep everyone updated because we're very eager to get out there and just
We
spread
want to
this
expand as
filth.
well. Yeah, we want to get further up north and a bit more as well, sort of Liverpool, Manchester, and see what we can do out there as well.
100%.
Yeah, great. And of course, I'll put down in the description below links to your various socials and all that, so people can check out your guys' stuff and keep abreast of any new news that you guys might be bringing.
Oh, thanks,
So
man.
that's all right, no
Thank you
problem.
very much.
That's all right. So, okay, we always like to end these interviews the same way with some random quick fire questions that have nothing to do with anything. Just some fun, light-hearted questions. Think as long or as short as you want. Debate amongst yourselves. You do not have to come to a consensus. Right. First question. I always start with this because I'm building a tally. Do you like Ghost?
Oh, mate.
I respect Ghost.
I'm gonna have to say the same.
That's
This should be a simple answer. Um, I'm gonna say yes. I don't listen to them, but I watched them at Bloodstock, and they were really good. But that's kind of where I left it off.
sure.
No.
I'll just say Team Ghost is winning by a landslide, by the way,
Oh, okay.
with all these interviews. I think we very few knows, but you know, I love Ghost, they're great. I'm making a point basically. Next question. Modern metal or traditional metal?
Oh, whoa, that's so hard. There wouldn't be modern without traditional. So I'll go traditional.
I'm gonna say modern is one of the things that I've loved over, especially
I'm
the
glad you
last
went modern.
10 years or so. So many different innovations, different sounds, um, and not even just like from different places all over the world. Like I'm not going to go. I could talk for hours about like some of the bands that I've discovered over the last 10 years that have really pushed it out. But yeah, I think it's things are moving in a great direction, regardless of who sits there with like Kiss makeup on, saying that it's not going to. No
Yeah.
particular person.
Yeah, that guy. Cool. Progressive metal or symphonic metal?
Aggressive.
Oh my God. Uh,
You're killing Sam off right now.
uh, I yearn for those reactions.
I'd probably say progressive. Yeah, I'd say progressive. I think that's easier actually.
Cool. This used to be our starting question, but I'm bringing it back. Metallica versus Slayer.
Metallica. Metallica. Straight away. Yeah, 100%.
That's I don't know. Fuck it, Metallica. Yeah,
Obviously. Uh, do you prefer to stream music or buy physical releases?
prefer to buy.
No, yeah, no. Lockdown changed me. I was very, very much physicals, and I had a big collection, and they're now in the loft because of Spotify. And the only thing is, with local bands,
Mhm.
it's a nice way to support. So I'll buy t-shirts now. But
Cool.
yeah, I have switched. I have made the switch now.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Going off music for a bit. Summer versus winter.
Summer.
Winter.
Oh, Sam.
Summer's too happy, man.
Happy music is forbidden.
Yeah.
TV or movie?
TV.
We got some consensuses, not a lot. Going off of that though, favorite movie?
For me, it would be The Punisher with Tom Jane.
Oh, that's a killer film. Um, I quite like Seven. Have you seen Seven?
Mm,
That's quite a cool film, man.
favorite TV show?
I think Sons of Anarchy was my favorite, even though I had it spoiled
That's
for me
cool.
and never properly completed it. Yeah, I'll go with that.
That's a good show, man.
Yeah, it should have been better. If people have ruined it. Goddamn ruiners of
Vikings was cool,
things.
man. Did you watch Vikings?
No, I haven't got around to that one yet.
That's a really good series, man.
Ah,
Yeah, really good.
bump it up the list. Sci-fi or fantasy?
I would
I'd
lean
probably say,
towards sci-fi.
yeah, I'd probably say fantasy more. Yeah, fantasy. I'd go
Cool.
Lord of the Rings, and that's
Yes.
fantasy,
Oh,
isn't it?
now you
But
said that.
That's my favorite movie. All three in one.
yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, awesome. Favorite band slash artist?
Oh, mate, that
Whoa.
changes
by the day.
Yeah, these last two questions. These last two questions are big ones.
Okay, I'm going to say, judging by what I've listened to for the last 7 days, I'm going to say favorite band of this current moment is Periphery.
That's a solid choice.
I might shock, but Queen are
Yes.
incredible, man.
Yeah,
Fucking love Queen. It just doesn't seem like any mood that you can be in, you can just enjoy Queen.
yeah. Even like the deep cut stuff that people wouldn't normally know. Like
Yeah.
God, Prophet Song is my favorite.
Oh, mate, so good. Like Death on Two Legs, and
Yeah.
so good, man. Like any mood, just put Queen on.
Yeah, Queen, that's a great choice. So when you said you're going to shock, I thought you were going to say Ghost.
No.
Oh God. Okay. Final question. Favorite Ambrius song?
I think mine would be The Unavoidable Path.
Same. I'm going to go with that. It's just there's so many different things going on at different elements. It's quite dynamic, and there's just a certain atmosphere to it which I still can't quite pin down whether it's like sinister or I don't know. It's very much like a doomsday sort of song, isn't it? And the lyrics are very much like, we're just destroying everything we've ever been given. Um, and no matter who seems to do what or what ideas get put on the table, we're just heading straight down that path of total annihilation. Yeah,
We can
really.
be at practice. We can be at practice, and we'll be going through the set. And that song, the intro to that song will come in, and I don't know. It seems to lift, doesn't it? And I'll end up running
Yeah.
around the studio
Oh,
like an
like
idiot.
Sam's like quite a chilled, revert. Sorry, if only I could do words. Like reserved sort of dude. But then when we're in rehearsal and we should get some cameras set up really, because like as soon as that song's coming on,
Nah.
we got the intros coming on. He's like running around and doing like Angus Young style, like stepping about the place. And
Don't believe Mike,
yeah,
man.
I'm just outing you right here, right now. But it's good because we're all enjoying ourselves and we're having a great time, which is what you want out of a rehearsal. You don't want it to become a chore,
Yeah.
So if we can
Unfortunately
all
for
get
them, man, like they have to play their instruments, so they can't film. So it's always me filming.
true,
So they
very
they
true.
don't see the magic that's going on behind.
Just see the shaky cam. Cool. Yeah, I was because I think that's probably my favorite track as well. off the
Oh,
EP.
that's fun.
Really, really like that one. Anyway, so that's all I've got. So thank you again, guys, so much for joining me today. This has been awesome. So thank you so much.
Not a
Thanks so
problem. It's
much,
been a
man.
pleasure.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Cool. Of course, as I say, check out the description down below so you can check out all of Ambrius's socials, new music, details on upcoming shows and all that. Thank you guys for joining me again. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.